Hey, it's Emily and welcome to my quarterly book haul. So if you saw any of my videos at the start of the year, you'll know I went on a book buying ban and I had very set rules on any exceptions that I wanted to buy. As you can probably guess, it didn't quite go to plan. I was really good in January, still really good in February. March, it kind of went out the window. March was an interesting time for me, so I kind of just bought books to pick my mood up, I guess. So yeah, most of these are from March. I think I bought 18 books in total, but 2 of them I'd already read. So I added 16 books to my TBR. They're kind of in stacks of kind of genre, kind of miscellaneous. There's like 2 stacks that have solid genres, and then the rest are kind of meh. But I think without further ado, let's jump on in to the books I bought. I think let's start with this one. This is a kind of romancy stack. A couple of them you may have seen in my I broke my book buying ban, come book shopping with me video at the start of March. So those ones I won't talk about in as much detail because I do a little mini haul at the end of that video if you want to go check that out. But yes, one of those is The Dead Guy Next Door by Lucy Score. It's a Riley Thorne novel. I think it's like a psychic that helps a policeman solve a crime in the flat next door to hers, and there may be romance. So that's why I put it in the romance section. I think it is kind of romancy, but a mystery tied in as well, but also she's a psychic. There's, I think, magical realism. So yeah, that's the first book, but I did buy it in that Come Book Shopping With Me video. I also picked up Funny Story by Emily Henry in March. I read, what's the last one? Happy Place in March, I think it was. And that for me was Emily Henry's best work yet. So I wanted to try Funny Story, and I picked up the sprayed edged edition from The Works. So I am really intrigued by this. I know lots of people love this one, so yeah, can't wait to get to it. And I think, yeah, it's just another romance, 2 total opposites, the wrong thing in common. Now that's a funny story. So yeah, I'm excited to get to this, but I think this might be more of a summary read now, so I might pick this up in a couple months. Next up, we have The Wedding Witch, which I picked up in Worcester when visiting Chloe in January. I am going to save this till Christmas time because it is a like kind of Christmassy book, but I did actually really like the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse, and it was like the right kind of magical realism for me, like fantasy elements. But I just like the romances and they're quick and easy, so I picked up this one because I think it was like £3 in The Works. But yeah, it's set around Christmas time, so I'm going to save it to read around like November, December time. I'm sorry if I'm talking about these really quickly. I have a lot of books here to get through and I don't want to be here all day and I don't want to keep you guys. So next up we have Double Apex, which I picked up in February when visiting my brother in Derby. This, I believe, is a Formula 1 romance. I think it's the start of a series. I haven't read it yet, but I think I was just in the mood of like, Drive to Survive's coming out soon. The new season's about to start, so I just like picked it up and it was quite cheap. So yeah, can never say no to a F1 romance, but here we go. This dungaree is driving me mad. Absolutely mad. But yeah, that's the last one of this mini romance stack. There is kind of more romance to come, don't you worry. Let's go to this side. Should we go for this one? This is all like murder mysteries. So on top of the pile, we have The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. My lovely best friend Sammy was unhauling some books and this was one of them. I've only read the first one. I got sent an arc of it on NetGalley, but I never continued the series. So it has been a while since I read the first one because it was literally before it came out. But I have really wanted to continue it at some point, and now that I have a physical copy, and it didn't cost me anything, so yeah, I couldn't say no, and I should pick it up soon. But yeah, I think it's just following on from the first one, really. Another little mystery for the Thursday Murder Club to solve. Next up, we have Beast by Matt Wesolowski. This is book 4 in the 6 Stories series, and I have already read this. Gave it 5 stars. It's one of my favourite series ever. It is probably my favourite mystery series, hands down. Every book has gotten 5 stars from me so far, and I've read 5 out of the 6. And this series, I feel like I've droned on about it a lot recently, but it's all kind of set up as a true crime podcast, and it's broken into episodes instead of chapters, and the audiobook is a full cast, and yeah, highly recommend this series. But yeah, this was the 4th one, and I saw it in a charity shop with Chloe, and it was in pretty good nick for like £1 or 2. So I picked it up and I'm so glad I did because I absolutely loved it. Surprise, surprise. Next up, we have Murder at Lake Garda by Tom Hindle. I read A Fatal Crossing by him a couple of years ago, I want to say, and I literally read nearly all of it on one day. I was literally on a train back from Chloe's. I remember it specifically, and I nearly read all of it on the train. And I wanted to pick up more from him, but I just never bought them. And this was in a charity shop, and I have been to Lake Garda. It is beautiful, so I feel like this is the perfect next step for me in my Tom Hindle journey. I love a murder mystery set abroad or like in a really hot summery location. Like some of my favourite Agatha Christie's are like set abroad, so like Appointment with Death, Murder in Mesopotamia, Death on the Nile. Some of those are one of my favourites, and yeah, I just love murder mysteries set in like a hot, idyllic setting. So yeah, I definitely want to read this soon, but it shouldn't take too long because, like I said, I read the first one nearly in a day, so they're easy reads from what I remember. Next up we have Murder Most Festive. So from a hot mystery to a Christmassy one, I saw this in a charity shop last year, or was in last December. I read Murder at the Theatre Royale by Ada Moncrief, which was another one in this kind of like series that she's done, and I absolutely loved it, gave it 5 stars, and I want to read more from her, and this is her debut, so I definitely want to read this Christmas after absolutely loving Murder at the Theatre Royale. I just thought it was like the perfect, easy, Christmassy mystery. So yeah, and it's in like a stately home, classic 1930s murder mystery. Right up my street. We also have Murder on the Menu by Alex Coombs. I got this in my bookish, I was gonna say advent calendar, it's not an advent calendar, but my kind of year-long calendar that my mum's done. She's wrapped up a book for me to open every month, and I think this was February's pick. I actually bought this for Rhiannon last year, I think, but didn't buy it for myself, but it did intrigue me, that's why I bought it for Rhiannon, and here we are. I now have it and I now can read it, and it's just, yeah, I think a classic English village. There's murder, the new girl in town's under the like whatever word is microscope, but she has to then prove her innocence to, yeah, prove her innocence. That was a really bad explanation, but yeah, I think it would just be a nice, quick, easy mystery. Now onto a couple Agatha Christie's. The first one I have is Dumb Witness. As I said about the books from my mum and dad, this was January's pick, and it's a crime club edition of Dumb Witness. And I have another one of these editions. I have Cards on the Table, which is a crime club one. I have just read Dumb Witness, like literally last week from when I'm filming this. But it has got Agatha Christie's actual dog modelling for the cover. So yeah, that's a nice little addition to my Agatha Christie collection. And then the other Agatha Christie I have, and the last one in this stack, is Halloween Party. I have read that before, but this is just a special edition that I got. I had to return a book at Waterstones in London and decided to exchange it for Halloween Party. So yeah, it's very different from the movie. I haven't even watched the movie, but just from the trailer, like, I mean, for starters, it's not even set in Venice, it's set in a country estate, so I don't know where the idea for Venice has come from, but it was still a good fun time. Like, it was a really good book, and yeah, I wanted the special edition of it to match the rest of my collection. So that's that stack done. I feel like we should tackle this one. This has a very strong theme. They are all hockey romances. So the first two, as you may have seen from the stack, the spines, or the edges, sorry, we have Collide and Spiral, and they're the sprayed edge, like nice, whatever they're called, sprayed edge editions from the works. Like I have been saying a lot recently, I've been really enjoying my hockey romances, and I've heard a lot of positive things about Collide. A lot of my friends haven't read Spiral yet, so I don't really know what the consensus is of this one, but I love the matching edges, and yeah, I've heard really good things about Collide, and it's definitely one I want to pick up soon. I just want to finish off a couple of series before starting another one. But yeah, two hockey romances, as well, the rest of this stack is. But yeah, I'm not too sure what they're about, apart from being hockey romances, but I've seen a lot of hype around them, and I think there's a third one coming out soon as well, so hopefully they'll do more matching sprayed edges for that. Next up we have Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. This I absolutely loved. I'm trying to think if I gave it 4.5 or 5, but I read it in March. I hauled it in March and read it nearly immediately. This is a male-male romance, but hockey related. They're two hockey players, and I absolutely loved this. This is steamy, by the way. This is like really steamy. I literally read it in a day. I had some interesting news and decided to haul up with a book for the rest of the day, and I read this, yeah, in an evening basically. And this follows Jamie and Ryan Wesley, or well, he's called Wes in the book, and it's just, I just love it. It's so cute, and I definitely need to get the sequel because there's a sequel called Us and it follows them again. It's like the same couple, so I'm so excited to see where it goes, but I just loved it. I thought it was done so well, and for a smutty book, like even though so much of it was smut, it was just like, you just love the characters so much, like you just want to defend them with your life. But yeah, this is, yeah, one of my favourite books I've read this year so far. So maybe I did put it as a 5-star. Next up, we have another Elle Kennedy, The Charlie Method, which came out, I think, did it come out in February? The end of February, and then I picked it up in March. And this is the third and final book in the Campus Diaries trilogy. This follows Charlie, but also Will and Bennett, who are 2 characters I've loved throughout the book so far already, or the series so far. And I can't wait to get to know them more in this, and I will be reading this in April. So watch this space. It's a chunky romance, but I have really enjoyed seeing like Elle Kennedy's writing grow. I feel like the quality of this series is so much better than like the off-campus series. But yeah, I just think the quality is so much better, but like I just love the whole character cast. Like I'm so attached to this universe, and I will be sad because there will be no more to read after this one, at least for the time being. So yeah. When also visiting Chloe, I picked up Mr. Hockey. It was in the clearance, in the works, and it was nice and short. I did actually read this past weekend, and will probably be unhauling it very promptly, but it was an interesting read. But I do talk about my thoughts in a vlog, so I won't go on about this one for much longer. But yeah, this is a kind of romance between a bookworm who works in a library and a hockey player, like the captain of a team. So I'll leave that there. And then finally in the hockey stack, we have The Wingman by Stephanie Archer, which is the 3rd book in the Vancouver Storm series. I haven't read this series yet, but me and my friend Jazz, once we finish our Elle Kennedy books, we are going to be moving on to the Vancouver Storm series. So I was just getting it in preparation. I think it's like September or October that I'll be reading The Wingman. But I am prepared. That's one thing I am. So yeah, I feel like that was a quick whiz through those books. But yes, what stack should we do next? Let's go for this one. No, I just did that one, so let's do this one. So these are kind of more, I was going to say mystery thrillers, but then there's one that's completely different at the end. But the first one I have is The Drowning by Rachel Ward. I picked this up in the book warehouse I went to in the Come Book Shopping With Me video, so I won't talk about it too much. But I read this as a child and never had my own copy. I got it from the school library. But when I saw it in the warehouse for like £1 or £2, wrapped in cellophane, I thought, you know what, I'll buy it. So it doesn't add to the TBR, but I do want to reread it in the future. So yeah. Also in that warehouse, I picked up The Crew by J.M. Hewitt. This, I believe, is just like a thriller murder mystery set on a yacht. It kind of is like Below Deck, but in thriller, where it's not shagging in the laundry cupboard, it's murder. As I was saying earlier, I really like mysteries and thrillers that are set like abroad. I also really like thrillers that are set on boats. That's a thing of mine. I have about 3 or 4 that I want to read for a specific vlog later in the year. Just like summary boat-based, super yacht-based thrillers. So I picked up another one. Next up we have This Story Is a Lie by Benjamin Dean, which is the little World Book Day book. A little like YA thriller. I thought it was really good for what it is. Like it's 100 pages, if that. And it did feel like a nice, neat mystery in that there was enough development in it and it didn't feel rushed, but it still felt nicely wrapped up for a nice novella. I really liked Benjamin Dean's other books, like I really liked How to Die Famous, that's probably my favourite from him. So when I saw this in the works, I was like, you know what, I'll drop £1 on This Story Is a Lie. It also says at the back, Bury Your Friends, coming August 2025. However, at the last time I checked, there's nothing on his like profile about it. There's no other promo apart from that little snippet there. So me and Rachel are like, when are we going to hear about this book? It may be out now, I just haven't looked in the last like 3 weeks. Next we have Death on a Trans-Siberian Express, and this is a like first edition. It's signed and I got it for like £2 in a charity shop. It's got like the cover on and everything, and yeah, my mum bought it for me as a little gift and I'm really intrigued. I have heard interesting things since buying it, that it wasn't like the best mystery. However, I'm willing to give it a go. And even if it isn't that great, it's a very, very pretty book. So yeah, I think this is another take on Murder on the Orient Express. There seems to be a lot of these like death on like snowy trains. So yeah, I think it's just another one of those, but for like £1 or £2 in a charity shop, I was like, I'll take that. And then finally on the stack, the one that's a bit of an anomaly in the genre-wise is The Favourite by Lane Fargo. This has been going around loads and it has been pitched to me as Daisy Jones and the Six, but we're on ice skates. And if you don't know, I have started ice skating and having lessons every now and then. In fact, my skates are literally here. They've just been living by my bookcase. But even like the covers are so similar. But this is one of my favourite books of all time, so I'm hoping that I will love The Favourites. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. and it's definitely a 5-star prediction. I just need to read it. Like, I'm scared that I'm not gonna love it because it seems literally like the perfect book for me right now, but I'm giving it such high like expectations that I'm a bit nervous that it will fall flat. But yeah, on to our final stack. So this is kind of the more miscellaneous stack. They're not necessarily bound by a genre. God, I got pins and needles. The book on the top is House in the Woods, by Yvette Fielding. It took me ages to realise who Yvette Fielding was. I knew I recognised the name from somewhere. But this is the first book in the Ghost Hunter Chronicles. It's a middle grade horror series, I believe, or like mystery horror. But obviously Yvette Fielding is known also for her TV shows, being like Most Haunted and Haunted With, or whatever it's called. So I'm intrigued to see how she is as an author. Whether this, I don't know if it is ghost written or not, I don't really know. But ghost written, haha, pun not intended. But yeah, this is on my April TBR, so I will be reading it this month. But yeah, it was literally a couple quid in the works, and I thought I'd give it a go because I kept seeing them everywhere, or every works I went into. So yeah, I picked up The House in the Woods. Next up we have Lightbringer by Pierce Brown, which is the 6th book in the Red Rising saga. This is going to take me literally like 7 years to read, but I am currently doing a reread of the first 5 books in preparation of getting to this one, and then I can't remember when the next one's coming out. I don't know if it's actually been announced yet, like the actual date of it, but yeah, I'm excited to continue the series, but I am so intimidated by it. Like, it's, how long is it? 680 pages, but the font is minuscule. So we'll see, but I'm so excited that I finally have Lightbringer in my possession. Next up we have another middle grade. It's a fantasy. It was the book I took out every summer from my local library, and that is No Time Like Showtime, and it's a Hermix Tantamok adventure. I used to love this book so much as a child. I remember taking it out from the library literally every summer, taking it on holiday with my family when I was like 11, and just loving it. So I saw this in the warehouse and it's like a couple pounds, and I thought, you know what, that is coming home with me. I am so excited to read this. I want to do a full reread of the series because I haven't read it since I was like 12 years old, but from what I remember, I just loved it. Fond memories. A whisker-filled Indiana Jones style page turner, because Hermix Tantamok, our main character, is a mouse. But yeah, I'm very happy to have that in my own possession now, because yeah, I only ever got it out from the library. Next up is another charity shop find, and that is What Does It Feel Like by Sophie Kinsella, her latest novella. Oh, that rhymed. It does say on the back that it's fiction, but is my most autobiographical work to date. Eve's story is my story, from Sophie Kinsella. But I didn't buy this for so long. I have really liked Sophie Kinsella's works before, but I didn't buy it because I couldn't find it cheaper for like £9 as a hardback. And I thought I didn't really want to pay £9 for the novella. And so I found it in a charity shop for a couple quid and thought, you know what, I'll get it. So I will probably read this sometime soon. It's so nice and short that it won't take that long to get through at all. So yeah, another little addition to the TBR. Then we have a thriller. We have The End of Her by Shari LaPena, and I have already read this. I will be unhauling it, not because I didn't enjoy it, but I just tend to unhaul thrillers like this where I know the twists and I'm probably not going to reread. Plus, Chloe wanted it, so I just said, yeah, Chloe, you can have my copy. But yeah, this is just another thriller, domestic thriller, about a woman who's just had twins with her husband. A woman from her husband's past arrives out of nowhere and kind of throws questions into the mix, and it turns out, is he really the man that she thought he was? So yeah, it was another quick, easy thriller. I read it very quickly, but yeah, nothing that I will want to reread in the future. And then the final book of this haul, the final book of the stack, is Behind the Scenes at the Museum by Kate Atkinson. This is my March pick from my mum's book calendar. My mum absolutely loves Kate Atkinson, so I was not surprised in the slightest that one would come up at some point. This, I think, is like kind of literary fiction, about, I don't really know, to be honest. I didn't really get it from the back. I can't remember what it's about, but my mum really liked it, and we do have a crossover in reading tastes. The font is quite big and it's in pretty good nick, and a nice little bit of foiling on the front, so yeah, I'm sure I will like it when I actually get around to it. But yeah, that's the last book in this haul. So I hauled way too many books. Oh, I also hauled The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, but I have read that and unhauled it already, so that's another one. But yeah, already took that off the TBR. A lot of books. But yes, hopefully the book buying ban will continue again in April and I'll be good again. I'll be much better behaved. I definitely need to be more conscious of the amount of books I'm buying this month, so yeah. On that note, thank you very much for watching. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I hope to see you soon with a brand new video. Bye.